Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible? Welcome back. Am I audible? Please do let me know. Sorry for the delay. There was some issue, technical issue. We were discussing what is actually happening so that these things will not happen. That's the reason there's a delay of 15 minutes. So let's start. Let's start. So we are discussing agriculture. We are discussing the concept of agriculture. Now, in case of agriculture, what we have discussed is basically MSP, right? A minimum support price. After that, we have discussed should we have a legally guaranteed MSP or not? If there's a legal guaranteed MSP, what is the problem? What are the benefits, etc. After that, we have discussed the concept of right the concept of the public distribution system, that is food subsidy, and associated with that public distribution system. Now, what are the reforms in public distribution system? Then agriculture credit. Now, let me go forward. Concept of warehousing. Idea of warehousing. Now, what do you mean by warehousing? In simple, warehousing or storage. Warehousing nothing but storage, right? Now, why do you require warehousing? What is the need for having a storage capacity? Point number one, we need to ensure that there's a continuous supply of food grains in the market so that the prices are stable. Point number one. All right, I'll start now. We need to ensure that there's a sufficient continuous supply of food grains in the market so that the prices are stable. Meaning what? Let's say now harvesting season is over. Once harvesting season is over, if all the farmers will take the crop to the market, supply to the market will be very high. And if supply is very high, market prices will crash. And after 1 month, after 40 days, after 45 days, if nobody is going to supply crops to the market, don't you think the market prices will start increasing? So you're seeing a system here wherein after harvesting is done, if everybody will take the crop, sell it in the market, market prices will crash, and after that prices will start increasing. Rather than this, tell me, if I produce the crops, harvest the crop, and part of the produce I will store it, I will warehouse it, and remaining part I will supply to the market today, and over a period of time whatever is stored will also be supplied to the market. Can we stabilize the supply as well as prices? Please participate now. Lunch break is over. Please participate. Right, so I will produce, and all of it I'll not take it to the market. Part of it I will store, remaining I'll sell it in the market, and whatever I've stored over a period of time I will introduce this also in the market. Can we stabilize the supply, stabilize prices? So in order to ensure there's a continuous supply, in order to ensure prices are stable. Third number, if I produce and store it, and store means scientific storage. You'll come across a term scientific storage. What do you mean by scientific storage? You will store the food grains at appropriate temperature. You'll store the food grains, right, controlling from the moisture. You'll protect from sunlight. You'll protect from rainfall. You'll protect from pest attack, etc. So if you store like this, can we reduce wastages also? Will it help in reducing the wastages? Yes. And if government will start promoting the storage, right, will also develop storage, promote storage, etc., can government also ensure that they will have sufficient food grains for distribution purposes? For example, they have public distribution system, they have a midday meals, they have a integrated child development services, etc. So we will use the idea or the concept of warehousing in order to reduce wastages and ensure that distribution of the food grains will also take place. So these are the uses or the need for having warehousing. Now, in case of India, who develops warehousing? Who is actually responsible for developing warehousing infrastructure? Now, warehousing can be developed by the government also, can be developed even by the private sector. Please remember this. Government also can develop warehousing, and private sector can also develop warehousing. And when you say government here, it can be the state government, it can be even central government. Central government is responsible or has been involved in developing warehousing. right? The state government is also involved in developing of warehousing. Even private sector companies, for example, have you heard of companies such as ITC? Please do let me know. Have you heard of companies such as ITC? ITC basically stands for Indian Tobacco Company. So even ITC, a private sector company such as ITC, it is also involved in warehousing infrastructure development. So government, central government, state government, and even private sector, all of them are involved in the development of warehousing in India. Now, what is the issue of warehousing? What is the issue, right? Or what is the problem with warehousing infrastructure in India? First one, we do not have sufficient storage capacity. It's a fact. Please remember this. We do not have sufficient warehousing capacity. Means the demand for warehousing infrastructure is very high, but how much is available is much lower. That is a precise reason. That's a precise reason. Many of the times we know that using scientific warehousing will be able to reduce wastages, but because we do not have sufficient warehousing, lot of times the agriculture commodities, that is the cereals, they will go waste. The horticulture outcomes, right? The horticulture products, they will also go waste. For example, fruits, flowers, vegetables, green leafy vegetables, cereals, a lot of it will go waste because we do not have sufficient warehousing capacity. Second one, storage by Food Corporation of India. FCS stands for Food Corporation of India. Storage by Food Corporation of India does not include storage of commodities such as oil seeds. Now, why oil seeds are very important? Please remember this point. All of you have used or have you seen usage of vegetable oils? Anybody in the classroom who says, sir, right, I've never used vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is nothing but, right, basically the idea of edible oil, cooking oil, edible oils or cooking oil. For example, in the lunch break, you would have made, let's say, puris, parathas, whatever, using oil only. So vegetable oil or cooking oil, edible oils. In case of India, most of the cooking oil that we use, or let's say a substantial part of the edible oil, we actually import. We actually import. Lot of it we actually import. And whenever you're dependent on the import, right, you should not be dependent. Whenever you're dependent on the import, the issue is only simple. The production capacity is not sufficient. Even if there is a production capacity, you may not have sufficient warehousing capacity, you may not have sufficient processing capacity, etc. So one of the reasons in case of India as to why we are dependent on import of all of these is because we are not producing and storing sufficient quantity of all of it. Location disadvantages. What do you mean by location disadvantages? All the villages, wherever farming is done, you require warehousing infrastructure. In case of India, warehousing infrastructure is not present in all the parts of India. They are more concentrated in surplus states, right? And it should make perfect sense to you, right? They are concentrated in surplus states because the production in surplus states is very high, which means in certain villages warehousing might be available, but it is costly. Farmers cannot afford it. Second, in certain villages, warehousing itself is not available, which means whatever is produced, we do not have a scientific warehousing capacity here. Next, lack of knowledge amongst the farmers. All the farmers do not have information, right? Farmers are not, right, completely in light, or let's say farmers do not have complete information regarding, right, where is the warehousing capacity available. If yes, what is the pricing, right? What kind of warehousing facilities they provide? Do they provide a warehousing receipt also, etc.? Knowledge among the farmers is a problem in India. And please tell me, can I say this is a problem in lot of the reforms implemented by the government of India? Let me know. Please think of it and please do let me know. Can I say this is a problem in lot of the reforms, not just related to this, lot of the reforms? For example, we'll discuss one more type of technology, right? Technology used in agriculture. Example of nano fertilizer. And when I discuss, I'll tell you what is the advantage, etc. I'll tell you. But don't you think for the farmers in India, it is very difficult for them to understand what you mean by nano, right? What is the advantage of it? Many farmers will not even have heard of a nano fertilizer. And if you provide this kind of a fertilizer, they will hesitate to accept the product. So I hope you understand the argument here. Lot of times reforms are implemented, measures are there, but all the farmers may not have the information related to that. And last one is lack of credit accessibility on the produce that is stored. Meaning what? Let me explain it. Understand this carefully. Let me explain it. Imagine I'm a farmer. I've cultivated 100 bags of paddy. I've cultivated 100 bags of paddy. Now, this is a concern. What is the concern? If I take all the 100 bags of paddy and sell it in the market, supply is very high, prices would be lower. Simple. Supply is very high, prices would be lower. But on the other side, if I don't sell the paddy in the market, I will not have money. Yes or no? Right? So one, if I sell it today, supply in the market is very high. So market price would be lower. I will not earn sufficient amount of money. Second, if I store these bags, if I store these 100 bags of paddy, I have asset, agriculture asset I have, but I don't have money for it. So that is a concern. That is a problem for the farmers here. Then what is the solution? What kind of solution can we provide? Let me explain this. Listen to the process carefully. Here is a farmer. The farmer will take the crop, approach a warehouse, and deposit the crop. Keep the crop in the warehouse. Now, when I deposit the crop in the warehouse, don't you think the warehouse will issue a piece of paper? Can I call this as a receipt? Let me know. The warehouse will issue a piece of paper to me saying that I've kept 100 bags of paddy. I've kept 500 bags of, let's say, this crop XYZ. This is called as a warehouse receipt. Very simple. This is called as warehouse receipt. Now I can take the warehouse receipt, approach a bank, take a short-term loan from the bank. Is it okay? I can approach a bank and take a short-term loan from the bank. And once right, the prices become stable. Once the prices become stable, either I can withdraw the crop, sell it in the market, get the money, repay the loan, or else I don't have to withdraw the crop. I will simply enter into an agreement with you. I will sell the crops to you. You will give the money to me. But please understand this. When I sell the crop, I will not literally take the crop out of the warehouse. I will simply transfer. Right, this warehouse receipt to you. Now what you will do? You will make the payment of money to me. You will take the warehouse receipt to the warehouse, deposit the receipt, and you will withdraw the crops from the warehouse. Any problem in the sequencing here? Please do let me know. Any problem? Right, simple. First, I will come to the warehouse, deposit food grain. I will collect the warehouse receipt. I will go to the bank, take a loan from the bank. Right, take a loan from the bank and I'll show them the receipt. Say, see, I've stored certain food grains. I will get money. So for a short duration, give me loan. Now, after certain time period is over, either I can sell the crops in the market or else I don't have to literally sell it in the market. I will simply transfer the receipt to you. You will give the money to me. You will give the money to me. Now you will take the receipt, go to the warehouse, submit the receipt and take the crop. Any problem here? Can we go forward? Any problem? Sir, money was not decided for crops. My dear, whatever is the market price, that is the price we'll decide. Correct? Today, if the market price for 1 kg of rice, let's say 30 rupees per kg, right? Imagine I've got 200 kgs of rice lying in the warehouse. I will simply give you the receipt. You will give me for every kg, you will give me 30 rupees. That's it. Same idea. Right? So whatever is the existing market price, you will give it to me. I will give you the receipt. You will go to the warehouse, withdraw the food grains. This is called as negotiable warehouse receipt system. This is referred to as a negotiable warehouse receipt system. NWRS, very famous now. Negotiable warehouse receipt system. Anybody has a problem with NWRS? Please do let me know right now. NWRS. This is a very, very famous tool used by the farmers now. So have a look at this. Earlier, the problem was lack of credit accessibility. Now Government of India and many banks are actually promoting utilization of NWRS. Done. Can we go forward here? Anybody has a problem? Second point in need. If you have scientific warehousing, that is you are maintaining temperature, you are maintaining, right, let's say moisture, you are protecting your food grains from the direct sunlight, you are protecting food grains from the pest attack, it is called as scientific warehousing. And when you go for scientific warehousing, automatically wastages will come down. Now I told you, in case of India, there is a scarcity in warehousing. There's a scarcity, shortage in the capacity of warehousing. Please have a look at the data, you will understand. Right? Please have a look at the data. How much is the storage capacity, right? In case of India, that is with the Food Corporation of India as well as the state agencies, and how much is the total production in the domestic market. You will see there is a huge gap. And some of you are asking, should we remember this graph? Do not waste your time. Do not waste your time. UPC will not ask you this, right? But the point should be very clear to you. The production capacity in India is very high, but the warehousing capacity in India is very, very low. There is a shortage here. There is a huge scarcity in the context. Okay. Now, let me go forward. In the context of Food Corporation of India, in the context of FCI, Food Corporation of India, there is one committee recommendation, Shanta Kumar Committee Report. Understand this carefully. In the context of a Food Corporation of India, there is one committee, that is basically Shanta Kumar Committee Report. What are the observations? What are the recommendations? Let's understand one by one. Please listen carefully. FCI must transfer procurement operation to the states which have made considerable expenditure in infrastructure. What do you mean by this? Imagine state government is there. State government has already spent money. They are procuring, they are storing, they are only distributing the food grain. So please tell me, if that is done by the state government, should FCI also intervene in the same state? Let me know. Do you think even the FCI, Food Corporation of India, should also be present in the same state doing the same thing? Does it make sense to you or not? Anybody has a problem with this? Right? So if the FCI is, if the state government is doing it, what is the role of FCI there? FCI should not intervene. It should leave the state government to do it. That is the first one. Second, whenever you procure food grains, there should be certain rationality. Do not simply keep on procuring. For example, please tell me, does Government of India take into consideration whether they require food grains, and based on that, will they not procure food grains? I've given you the example of parboiled rice as well. I've given you the example of parboiled rice. It doesn't mean that Government of India announces MSP. It doesn't mean that government will keep on purchasing food grains. No, government will procure based on their requirement. So there should be certain rationality and uniformity whenever you conduct these kind of operations. Center should not accept additional or surplus food grains from the states which are announcing bonus or MSP. Why? Please understand this carefully. I'll explain this. Understand this. Imagine central government will announce MSP of 1000 rupee and the state will announce a bonus of 300 rupee, which means a farmer who will cultivate this crop, I repeat, the farmer who will cultivate this crop will get how much from the government? Total amount the farmer will get is 1300 rupee. Now please tell me, if this is the bonus announced in the state, what will happen to cultivation of this crop in the state? Let me know. What will happen to the cultivation of this crop in the state, will start increasing. Now the farmers, in order to earn more money, will they not take the crop, sell more and more to the government? And if they start selling more and more to the government, what will happen to the supply in the market? What do you think will happen to supply in the market? Supply in the market will go down. And as a result of this, what will happen to prices? Prices will start increasing. Can it make the food grains costlier in the market? Let me know. Can this contribute to inflation in the market? Can it make, can it increase the burden of higher prices on customers, on the buyers in the market? Yes. That is the reason. What is the committee saying? Center should not accept more food grains, surplus food grains from a state which will announce bonus or MSP. Because please understand, if the center is announcing MSP, state is announcing bonus, production increases, can I call it as a surplus state or not? Think of it. And before the lunch break, we have discussed what is the idea of a surplus state, what is the idea of a deficit state. So because the state government is announcing bonus, in order to earn more income, farmers will cultivate more, and basically this becomes a surplus state. And the problem with this kind of a policy is the market prices might start increasing, which will affect buyers in the market, which will affect consumers in the market, which might even contribute even to the inflation. Now please tell me, if RBI governor says higher MSP might lead to inflation, all of you are okay with this? I'm taking example of bonus. But you tell me, if RBI governor says that with higher MSP, we are expecting certain contribute to inflation, food inflation in the market, will it be okay with all of you? Let me know. Will it be okay with all of you? Right? Does it contribute to inflation? Yes, there is a concern. It might contribute to inflation. Ari Baba, some of us saying no. Some of you are not following the discussion, my dear. Please follow the discussion. If the farmer is earning 1300 rupees from the government, will the farmer sell more in the market or to the government? There are two students who are saying, sir, you are wrong. Supply to the market will not decrease, it will increase. My dear, if you are a farmer, rather than earning 1000, now you are earning 1300, will you sell more to the government or not? Simple question. If you sell more to the government, what will happen to the supply in the market? To others in the market. Supply in the market is expected to be affected. And if supply will get affected, right, don't you think prices will start increasing? Of course, yes. So in this example, I took bonus and I told you this. What if the central government will increase the MSP from 1000 rupees to 1500? Can this also lead to higher inflation in the market? Again, answer is yes. Right? Can that also contribute to inflation? Answer is yes. So remember this: higher bonus, higher MSP, etc. There is always a danger that might flow and have an impact on retail inflation in the market. That can contribute to retail inflation in the market. Done. So that is the next point. Encourage a negotiable warehouse receipt system. Just now I've told you what is NWRS, right? Please just connect the dots. Reduce the coverage under NFSA from 67% to 40%. We are covering 2/3 of the total population, right? What about revenue expenditure? What about food subsidy bill? Very, very high. So why are we covering 2/3 of total population? Reduce the coverage. Reduce the coverage from 67% to 40% of the population. Next one, prioritize the pulses as well as oil seeds and their MSP. Government announces MSP for 23 crops. Does it procure all the 23? No. Then the committee says, what is the point of announcing MSP for 23 crops? Please understand this point here. Government announces MSP for 23 crops, but it doesn't procure all the 23 crops. So what is the point of announcing? That is the reason this committee says prioritize procurement of pulses as well as oilseeds. And the reason is very simple. Please tell me, how many of you have seen what has happened to cooking oil prices in the last 1 year? Please tell me how many of you have seen what has happened to prices of pulses in the last 1 year? Have they remained stable or have they started increasing to a very high level? Answer is prices in many of the cases have become more than double of what it was in the last 1 year. Which means if your objective of warehousing is stabilization, why are you not procuring pulses as well as oil seeds? I hope you understand. If your objective of warehousing is price stabilization, why are you focused only on rice? Why are you focused only on the wheat? Why are you focused only on few crops? Right? These also should be your priority. That's the reason procure. Next, 6 months advance food grains to be issued so that cost of storage comes down. Meaning what? Let me explain it. Imagine your Food Corporation of India. I am a beneficiary. So for the month of August, you will have to give me 5 kgs of food grain. So you will purchase, store and transport and give me 5 kgs. Again for the month of September, right, you will have to store food grains and for the month of September again 5 kgs. For the month of October, you already have stored food grains. Now you'll have to transport and give me 5 kgs. What this committee says is, because you are giving 5 kgs monthly like this, your cost of transportation, cost of warehousing is higher. Because you'll have to keep on storing food grains. Rather than this, what if I say, after the harvesting season is over, I repeat, after harvesting season is over, I will purchase food grains and your 6 months requirements. I repeat, your 6 months entitlement. How many food grains I'll give you for 6 months? 30 kgs. For example, if you're a priority household beneficiary, every month I'll have to give you 5 kgs. For 6 months, I'm supposed to give you 30 kgs. So this 30 kgs I will issue in one slot. Now please tell me, after harvesting is over, I will procure and give 30 kgs. Do I need to store food grains for the month of September again? Do I need to store food grains for the month of October? Do I need to store food grains for the month of November? All of that requirement will not be there. Because August, September, October, November, December and January. For 6 months, I already given to you. Which means for the next couple of months, I don't have to incur warehousing expenditure. So you can reduce the cost of storage of food grains. Next, go for end-to-end computerization. End-to-end computerization. From the point of procurement to the point of distribution, right? Everything should be done in digital way. Digital way means everything should be recorded in a computer. Systems must be utilized so that leakages will not happen, corruption will not be there, everything will be transparent, etc. And finally, cash transfer. Rather than giving you food grains, why don't we provide you with cash subsidy? For example, today let's say, hypothetically, today let's say government will incur a food subsidy of 40 rupees to provide 1 kg of rice to me. Simple example, follow this carefully. Today let's say government of India will incur a subsidy of 40 rupees to provide 1 kg of rice to me. Now rather than incurring 40 rupees subsidy and giving me 1 kg of rice, why not give me 40 rupees itself? Sir, why? What is the advantage of this? My dear, what if I want to purchase pulses? What if I want to purchase other protein sources? What if I want to purchase cooking oil? All of these are not provided under PDS. So if you give me cash instead of giving me food grains, will I have a choice now to purchase whatever I want? Think of it. Right? Don't you think I will have a choice to purchase whatever I want to purchase from the market in terms of food grains? So that is basically the argument here. Rather than providing subsidies in the form of food grains, provide cash subsidy itself. Right? That is what is being done under this idea of a recommendation of Shanta Kumar committee, but it is not being implemented throughout India. in some of the union territories. Some of the union territories, we are trying it out. For example, Dadra and Nagar Haveli. Have you heard of a UT by the name of Dadra and Nagar Haveli? In Union Territory of Dadra and Nagar Haveli, we are trying it out. We are actually doing this. Not very encouraging. Not very encouraging. Why? I'll tell you. If I give you 40 rupees, any guarantee you will use 40 rupees to purchase food grains only? Think of it. If I give you 40 rupees, any guarantee that you will use 40 rupees to purchase food grains only? There's no guarantee. Very difficult to keep a track as to how beneficiaries are using money then. That's a reason, although we are trying it out, not very successful per se. Now, next, model of marketing in agriculture. Marketing means selling. We have a model called as Agriculture Produce Market Committee. Now, what is this Agriculture Produce Market Committee? Central government, please remember this, central government under Constitution of India does not have control over agriculture marketing within a state. I will repeat the statement, right? Listen now. Central government does not have the power under the Constitution of India to make a law regarding agriculture marketing within the state. Who has the power there? It is the respective state governments who have the power to promote, regulate agriculture marketing. And that is a precise reason whenever you talk about APMC, whenever you talk about APMCs, APMC law is introduced by the respective state governments. APMCs are regulated by respective state governments. Now, please tell me, if it is the power of the state government, can certain state governments withdraw APMC law? Let me know. Can they withdraw APMC law? Right? Is it possible or not? You tell me, think of it. If it is the power, some of the people do not even think. That is actually surprising for me. When I say state government can basically make an APMC law. Can the state government withdraw APMC law? Of course, yes. Of course, yes. Right, and some of you are asking, sir, in that case, union territory. My dear, union territories will come under regulation, administration of whom? Let me know. Union territory will come under the regulation or the administration of whom? Central government. It is purely central government. So anything to do in union territory will be done by central government, union government. Okay. So come back to this. Sir, any example of a state government which doesn't have APMC? Best example is Bihar. Bihar government. Right. Earlier, Bihar government, state government of Bihar had actually implemented APMC law, but they felt it is not providing any benefit to the farmers. They have withdrawn APMC law. I'll give you one more example. State government of Kerala. Kerala does not have APMC law. Right. So I hope you understand now. It is not the central government power, but it is state government power. APMC at the center level can be created by the center? No. APMC talks about what? It talks about market committee. Market committee for agriculture produce. So agriculture produce market committee has to be set up by state governments, respective state governments. What can central government do? Please understand this. Central government can have model law. Central government can have a model law. Model law means a template has been provided by the central government. I hope you have, right? If polity is over, all of this becomes easy for you. If not, don't worry. When polity will be conducted, join those classes. Central government in state subjects, they cannot interfere in the state government functioning. What they can do is, they can provide a model law. Model law means a template, right? Basically a framework. Now it is up to the state governments whether to accept these model laws or make modifications and then accept it. So central government has right a marketing law, but please understand it's a model law. States need not follow it. It is entirely up to the state governments. Okay, come to the idea of a APMC here. APMCs are set up by the state governments. I'll come back to functions, but please look at it. How the APMC model is supposed to work, please have a look at it, understand the model. Do not by heart it, understand. Farmers will take their crops, go to the market. This is a market. I will use the term market, or else we can use the term mandi as well. Mandi, right? Agriculture mandis. So farmers will cultivate the crops and they will take it to the mandi, and within the market we are supposed to have infrastructure for warehousing, infrastructure for packaging, infrastructure for sorting, grading, etc. Now, in this market, all these buyers, right, wholesale buyers, not retailers. Retail means you and me, who want to purchase 2 kgs of rice, 5 kgs of wheat, not us. Larger buyers, companies, food processing companies, retail chains, etc. So these kind of large buyers, wholesale buyers will go to the market. There is right, basically a bidding which will happen. Bidding means competition between the buyers and sellers, and they will purchase from this market, bring it to the retail market, sell it to all of us. This is how basically the APMC market is supposed to function. APMC market is supposed to work. Now you will ask me, sir, why? What is the advantage of all of it? Point number one, do you think farmers can directly come to your shop and sell the crop to you? Please do think of it. Is it feasible for the farmers? Can they bring the vegetables directly to your home? Early morning, they'll be in front of your home with, right, basically vegetables. Not possible. Some market has to be set up. There has to be certain middlemen who will purchase it from the farmers and sell it. Point number two, don't you think if all the farmers will bring the crop to the market, it will provide a single facility? That is, it is only one place where these bigger buyers can go based on the requirement, they will purchase it. So no, if all the farmers will take the crop, go to only one market, right? Don't you think, right, based on the requirement, big companies will go there, purchase based on the requirement? I hope you understand this. So it will work on scale. That is, farmers will get access to large number of buyers, and buyers will get access to large number of sellers. That is the reason this kind of a model was actually proposed and implemented in many states across India. This is implemented in many of the states across India. This is how APMC is supposed to work. Now, what are the functions of APMC? One, promote transparency in pricing. If there is a competition in the market, imagine, right, you have gone to this market and you're purchasing 500 tons of wheat, 500 tons of rice. So don't you think large number of buyers and large number of sellers, competition will be higher, pricing will be much more transparent in the market? Payment is done to the farmers. That is the duty of the APMC mandi. Because understand the logic here. If I want to participate in the mandi, I will have to get a license. If I'm a buyer, if I want to enter into mandi and I want to purchase, I should get a license. So it is the duty of the mandi to ensure that I will make the payment to the seller. Promote a food processing as well. How processing will be promoted here? Please have a look at the terms here: sorting, grading, etc. Now let me give you a basic idea. What do you mean by sorting and grading? Many of you will keep on asking me, what do you mean by sorting and grading? Let me ask you a very simple question. You went to the market to purchase apples. You went to the market to purchase apples. Question number one. Have you not seen multiple qualities of apples in the market? Let me know. When you go to the market to purchase apples, do you think only one apple is there, one type of apple is there? Of course no. Of course no. You will see Shimla apples are there. You will see, right, American apples. You will see, right, imported apples. You will see local apples, etc., etc. Now all of you are okay when I say different, right, different categories of apples are there. Point number one. Point number two, let's say Shimla apples. Even in case of Shimla apples, have you not seen different groups of Shimla apples? There will be one group, right, where apples will be very fresh, very fresh, completely shining. And another group of Shimla apples where there are certain black spots on the Shimla apples. Have you seen this or not? So if this is newest, that is right, very fresh Shimla apples, price would be very high, and this price comparative would be lower. Now why? What is this idea? Why should you know understand all of this? Simple, there are two terms: sorting and grading. Sorting means separating. Is it okay? Sorting means separating, and grading means right, what is the quality. Simple, I'll repeat it. Sorting means separating, grading means providing quality to the product. Anybody has a difficulty in understanding the term sorting and grading, please do let me know right now. Sorting means separating, right, and grading means providing quality to these products, right? High quality, low quality, medium quality, etc. So within APMC market, we are expected to have warehousing infrastructure, sorting, grading, right, as well as a packaging infrastructure, etc. So don't you think all this infrastructure is necessary to promote food processing? If you ask me, sir, what do you mean by food processing? Converting one product into another. Very simple idea. Transforming one product, that is agriculture product, to another, that is called as food processing. For example, can I say conversion from mango to juice is food processing? Let me know. I'll repeat the statement. Conversion of mango to juice, it is nothing but food processing. Conversion of wheat to wheat flour, to bread, cake, biscuit, etc. Is it not food processing? So food processing in simple terms means conversion from one form to another form. That's a basic idea of food processing. So would you require sorting, grading, packaging infrastructure for food processing? Answer is yes. So even in case of right, the APMC, because it is there, we'll simply say it will promote food processing. Next one, it will provide a market for large number of buyers as well as sellers. So only one market, buyers are there, sellers are there. It will provide a market to all of them. Now, what are the issues? What are the problems regarding APMC in India? What are the issues? Point number one, imagine in one region, only one APMC mandi is there. Only one market, only one mandi. Now, please tell me, the mandi does not have very good infrastructure, no warehousing facility, no sorting, no grading facility. Is there any other market available to you here? Think of it. Is there any other option available to you? Government says you will have to take the crop to the market and sell it. But in the market, the the warehousing facility is not there. Or it is there but very less. Storage capacity is very poor. Right? The sorting, grading, packaging infrastructure is absent. So now what is the alternative? There is no alternative. Can I say it will act as a monopoly? Let me know. It will act as a monopoly for you. Monopoly means a single service provider. Because there is no alternative to you. You do not have any option. You don't like it, but you will have to go to the same market, participate, try to sell it. So APMCs will act like monopolies in the market. Second, you need multiple licenses. What do you mean by multiple licenses? Let me give a very basic idea here. Imagine I'm a trader. I am one of the retailing company. Okay, I'm one of the retailing company. Sir, any example of retailing company? Have you heard of More company? Let me know. More Superstore. Have you heard of this? More. Right. So imagine I'm owning More company. So I want to go to the APMC Mandi in state 1 and I want to purchase, which means I will have to take a license to operate in this Mandi. Done. Now, I also want to go to a Mandi in Telangana and I want to purchase. Now, I will have to take a license in Telangana as well. I want to go to Mandi in Karnataka and I want to purchase from the Karnataka Mandis. I will have to take a license in the state of Karnataka as well. So in as many states I'm operating, in any state that I'm operating in, I will have to take a license in all these states. Right? Don't you think it's a cumbersome process? It is a very complicated process. This will not promote ease of doing business in the market. That is one more concern. So multiple licensing is right a problem. Right? That is a problem. Sufficient infrastructure is not available within APMC. That is also a problem. Right? One of the student asked, how do APMCs earn money? How do APMCs generate revenue? Because they are providing this kind of a platform to you. Platform means facility, warehousing facility, right, packaging facility, etc. They will provide all these facilities not free of a cost but at charges. They will impose the charges and collect it from the market participants. In many of the states, for example, Punjab, let me connect it to current affairs. Think of it. Just think of it. I'll give you a statement. You will have to think and tell me whether this makes sense to you or not. If government of India adopts a model of providing cash subsidy under PDS, surplus states will oppose this policy of government of India. I'll repeat the statement. Please think of it and do let me know whether this statement makes sense to you or not. I'll repeat it. If government of India will adopt the model of cash subsidy under PDS, surplus states will oppose this policy of government of India. Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? Sir, what are you talking about? Everything is like I'm an Indian batsman playing on an Australian pitch. Everything is going above head. Anybody has a problem? Anybody has a problem? Sir, what do you mean by this? Let me explain it. Two of the students are asking why. Why? What is the meaning of this statement? Let me explain it. If I say state government will have APMC mandi, state government will set up APMC mandi. Point number one. Point number two, when you have APMC mandi in a surplus state, which means production is very high, a lot of these food grains will be sold through APMC, which means the state government through APMC is generating lot of revenue through APMCs because of charges. Point number three, if central government will adopt the cash subsidy model in PDS, does it not mean henceforth Food Corporation of India will not be purchasing food grains through mandis? Let me know. Does it make sense now? Food Corporation of India, because there is a cash subsidy. If there is a cash subsidy, what is the role of FCI? Why will FCI purchase food grains then? Because I am not distributing food grains, I'll directly give cash, right? That is subsidy to the beneficiary. So FCI, right, its procurement from the mandis would be affected. And if FCI procurement from the mandis is affected, what will happen to the charges collected by the government through such transactions? Charges would also be affected. So now tell me, will the surplus states be happy with this kind of a policy of government of India? Does it make sense at least now? Right? Will the surplus states be happy with this kind of a policy of government of India? Of course, no. That's the reason surplus states are saying don't introduce the idea of a cash subsidy in PDS. Okay, now what is the solution to this? There is a new system which has been proposed and very famous now being implemented. Model of ENAM. Right, model of ENAM. What is ENAM? Electronic National Agriculture Market. Electronic National Agriculture Market. ENAM. Okay. Now let me start. What is this idea of a ENAM? ENAM basically it's a platform. It's a platform. Right? Platform means what? The agriculture producing market mandis. The mandis, all of these mandis will be connected through a platform. Very simple idea. All of these mandis will be connected through a platform. This platform is called as Electronic National Agriculture Market. Now, how do I understand this, sir? It is very difficult. When you say these are connected, what do you mean by this? Let me give you a very simple example. All of you have either used Amazon or Flipkart app. Let me know. All of you have either used Amazon or Flipkart app. Now, please tell me, what does Amazon do? Can I say Amazon will bring all the sellers in the market in the same platform? Yes or no? Right? What does Amazon do? Amazon will bring the sellers on the platform. You do not have to go literally to all the shops. You don't have to go now. You can open simply the Amazon app. You want to purchase a book. You can search, different sellers will be there. You want to purchase a mobile phone, different sellers will be there. You want to purchase, right, let's say a piece of clothing, different sellers are listed. Which means rather than going from one shop to another shop, can I say using only one platform, you will be able to purchase all your requirements. Does it make sense to you? Apply the same logic. Apply the same logic to e-National Agriculture Market. That is, you want to purchase rice from state 1. You want to purchase wheat from 2 and 3. You want to purchase, right, let's say product Y from state 5, 6 and 7. Rather than going to all the states, now you will register on a single platform. You will search for these crops. You will participate in the bidding for these crops. You will purchase these crops using platform. That is basically the model of e-National Agriculture Market. Anybody is finding this difficult? Please do let me know. Any difficulty? Simply meaning, right, let's say there are two states, S1 and S2. Earlier, until ENAM, you will go to state 1, purchase a certain crops in the state 1, right, have one license for it. You will go to state 2, purchase something in the mandi of a state 2, another license for it. Now, what if I say the farmers in the state 1 and state 2, the mandis are connected on only one platform, all their crops are listed. All their crops are listed. You want to purchase wheat, then basically start bidding for the wheat. Competition will be there. Other buyers are also there. Based on the bidding, you will be able to purchase wheat, irrespective whether you are from the same state, that is, you are from S1, S2, S3, S4, doesn't matter. You can simply participate with only one license. That's very important. You can participate with only one license. Throughout India, you don't require multiple licenses, you require only one license. Right? So have a look at the process here. Farmers will list their crops in the platform. The buyers will start bidding for the crops, and based on the highest pricing, right, once there is a match in the trade, match means seller is also okay with the price, buyer is also okay with the price. Once the trade will match, and basically the transaction will be completed, money will be transferred, and the goods would be transported. This is how ENAM will actually function. Any problem here? Now tell me, between model of APMC and this new model of ENAM. Again, ENAM is nothing new, please understand. Do not imagine ENAM is a new market. No, we are connecting mandis. We are simply connecting all the mandis in India. That is ENAM. Don't you think ENAM model is much more efficient compared to physical APMC markets? Let me know. I'll repeat the statement again. ENAM model is much more efficient compared to physical mandis, physical markets. Why? Physical market means multiple licensing. Here only one license. Physical market means you'll have to go to multiple markets. Now you do not have to go. You can go purchase using platform itself. That is basically the idea why ENAM is being promoted. ENAM is being promoted by Government of India. So as of 24th of February 2023, again this data will keep on changing. Number of mandis on the platform will be reaching 1361. by 31st March 2023. As of now, 1260 are there. Okay. The turnover will be more than 51,000 crore rupee. 1.75 crore farmers are already registered on the portal. But please understand, even this is very, very less. In case of India, as per various surveys, number of farmers are more than 10 crore. Number of farmers are more than 10 crore. But out of that, only around 1.75 crore farmers are there on the ENAM. If you ask me, sir, why? Why very few farmers are there on the ENAM? Please tell me, do you think farmers will be comfortable with this kind of a portal? Let me know, right? Do you think farmers will immediately adopt this kind of a model and start using this model? It will take time, right? It will take time. Farmers are generally not adjusted to any kind of a digital technology. They will take time to adjust. So what are the issues in the ENAM? Interstate transactions are very few. As of now, very few of the transactions are interstate. Most of them are intra. Intra means within the same state. So what is the problem? What is the problem if very few transactions are interstate? My dear, please tell me, if interstate transactions are few, does it not mean that number of buyers from outside the state participation is lesser? Let me know. I'll repeat the statement here. If interstate transactions are lesser, does it not mean that buyers from outside this state participation is lesser? Now, if participation increases, please think of it. If participation increases, don't you think competition will also increase? Let me know. If participation increases, what do you think will happen to competition? Competition increases. If competition increases, don't you think farmers will be able to earn a better amount of income? That is the argument. If competition is very high, obviously prices will start increasing. Farmers will be able to earn more incomes. So lower interstate transactions. Lack of infrastructure such as sorting, grading, warehousing, etc. Right? We need to develop all of this infrastructure in the mandis. And the third one, all the farmers in case of India, despite the number of farmers being more than 10 crore, all the farmers are yet to adopt the ENAM model. It will take time for them to come to terms with the utilization of digital technology. Okay, so this is basically the argument of the ENAM. Any difficulty? Can we go forward? Can we go forward? What is the main benefit to the farmers to join ENAM? My dear, you are a farmer, let's say from Bihar. Although Bihar does not have a APMC, anyways, I'm taking it. Imagine you're a farmer from a Bihar. You are selling in a mandi in Bihar, which means the buyers will have to come to you, right? The buyers who have licenses will have to come to you. But now, if your APMC is connected, it is live on the ENAM, don't you think many buyers from, right, a state of UP, right, state of Sikkim, right, hope so, let's say state of Punjab, state of MP, state of Chhattisgarh, state of Karnataka, don't you think there'll be multiple buyers who will start bidding for your product? Don't you think that is beneficial for you? Think of it. Don't you think that is going to work out in your favor as a farmer? Of course, yes. Of course, yes. Right? Price recovery, price realization, market competition, all these are going to work in your favor. Done? Next, the idea of technology usage. Technology usage in agriculture sector. Technology usage in the agriculture sector. Now, some of the technologies we have already discussed. ENAM. All of you okay with the technology ENAM now? One nation, one ration card. That is also related to agriculture sector. Right? So have a look at this. We are supposed to discuss nano urea, drone usage, as well as silos for storage. Let's start. One is nano urea. What do you mean by nano urea? Please understand, nano urea is nothing but liquid urea. Right? If you ask me, sir, what do you mean by nano urea? It is liquid urea. Traditionally, whenever you talk about urea as a fertilizer, it is present in solid crystalline form. solid crystalline form. Solid crystalline form. What do you mean by solid crystalline form? Again, think of it. Either you can check it in Google or think of it. All of you seen sugar crystals? Let me know. White sugar crystals. The urea is similar to that. Not the same, similar to that. So whenever you talk about a solid urea or physical urea, solid crystalline form, that is the urea that is generally available in the market. But in case of India, we have developed a new type of a variety, or let's say new type of technology using which we can create liquid urea. And this creation of liquid urea for the first time in the global market has been done by one of the cooperatives in India, IFCO. Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative Limited. Very, very famous in India. IFCO is not just associated with nano urea, it is also associated with the nano DAP as well. But what is the idea of liquid urea? What is the basic point here? Point number one, we are import dependent on urea. All of you okay with this? We are import dependent. If you ask me, sir, how do you say we are import dependent? My dear, last week we have discussed subsidies. I have given the chart. Please have a look at it. So we import DAP, we import MOP, we import NPK, we import even urea. So we are heavily dependent on the import of urea. And whenever certain international events will take place, or whenever there's a disruption in the international market, don't you think our import dependence will hurt us? For example, because of, right, let's say Russia-Ukraine war, the gas prices went up. And as a result of this, our import cost for fertilizers also increased. Subsidy burden for government of India also increased. So now government of India says, let's promote self-reliance, let's promote domestic production so that our import dependence will come down. And one step right towards that is developing and utilization of nano urea. Now, nano urea, that is liquid urea, is generally produced in a half a liter bottle. It is produced in a half a liter bottle. That is, in half liter bottles, this liquid urea is available in the market. Point number three here, this half a liter bottle, it is sufficient to replace one bag of urea. Understand this. This half a liter bottle, that is one bottle, is equivalent to utilization of one bag of urea. Now, please tell me, if half liter is equivalent to one bag of urea, please tell me what will happen to cost of transportation, cost of storage of this kind of a urea. Don't you think it can be easily transported? Even the warehousing cost or transportation cost will also be very, very low. So that is one advantage. Remember this, that is one very important advantage. That is one important advantage. Now, next important point, the utilization of urea, that is absorption, right? There is absorption. Absorption means what? All of you will agree when I say urea is nothing but mainly contains nitrogenous base. Let me know. Chemistry students will be very happy now. Urea basically consists of nitrogen, and nitrogen should be absorbed by the plant. So if the solid urea is applied and let's say liquid urea is applied, which can be absorbed more? Simple. If solid urea is applied and liquid urea is applied, which right has the plants have, in which case more absorption capacity? The government of India says it is liquid urea. It is a liquid urea. The plants can absorb right much more easily, much more efficiently liquid urea. Now please think of it. If absorption increases, don't you think that is directly related to productivity in the plant? Assuming nothing else changes. Don't say what if it is attacked by the pest, what if it is attacked by the virus. Assume everything else remains the same. Ceteris paribus, right? Ceteris paribus. So if everything else remains the same, between crystalline urea and liquid urea absorption capacity is much better. So don't you think productivity will also be much better in case of liquid urea? That is also one point, right? That's a reason in the context of liquid urea, the government says productivity in the agriculture sector is expected to increase with the utilization of liquid urea. And what about the cost factor? What about the cost factor? The cost factor is without giving subsidy. I repeat, without giving subsidy, in case of liquid urea, it is slightly lower than what is the price of urea with a subsidy in India. I will repeat the statement. Without any subsidy given by the government, prices are almost similar to the solid, that is a crystalline form urea with a subsidy in the market. Which means government of India says if you consume more and more liquid urea, my subsidy burden automatically will come down. So I hope you have understood why government is promoting the concept of nano urea. Any problem here? Why government is promoting the concept of nano urea? The farmer used nano urea as well as crystalline urea. Why? Is it necessary to use both? Currently, yes. Currently, yes. Why? I'll tell you. Whenever the farmer is cultivating the crop, right? Let's say the sapling, the plant, that is once you seed, it is there in the sapling form. And once it grows, it will become a plant. First it will be a sapling and then it will become a plant. As per various scientists, the nano urea can be applied only when, right, it is a plant. Nano urea can be applied only when it is a plant, right? When it is a sapling, you will require the crystalline urea itself. In fact, those who are asking these questions, please check Hindu newspaper. Couple of months ago, this was exactly covered in headlines in Hindu newspaper. Not kidding, not at all kidding. Right, you can check it in the Google. This was covered in the headlines of Hindu newspaper, first page article. Nano urea. Despite nano urea, farmers require, right, the crystalline urea in India. Why? Because at certain point of growth, till the plant reaches certain level of growth, it cannot absorb liquid. They require crystalline urea, which means despite having nano, they will continue to consume the crystalline urea. Done. So can we go forward here? Right. So 500 ml bottle of ECO nano urea liquid will replace at least one bag of conventional urea, that is solid crystalline urea. In terms of cost, it is comparatively cheaper. So subsidy burden on the government will become lower. Import dependence will become lower. Productivity will increase. Transportation cost will be lower. Warehousing cost would be lower, etc., etc. So these are some of the advantages of nano fertilizers compared to traditional fertilizers. And that's the reason now Government of India says by 24-25, assuming everything goes right, for 24 by 24 and 25, we will reduce our import dependency on fertilizers. Okay, now silo, right? Concept of a silo for storage. Now, before you start asking what do you mean by a silo, silos are nothing but large structures which are used for storage purposes. For example, if you can see the slide, can you see in the right side, top right side, I've given a picture. Let me know. Top right side, I've given a picture. And can you see container like structures in the picture? Right, these are called as silos. Simple. These are called as silos. And if you're aware of it, we do not have a very good silos in India. Acceptability of silos is very low in India. We are yet to develop large scale silos in India. In Western markets, for example, Europe, for example, USA, right, etc., developed economies, silo storage is very, very famous. In case of India, silo storage is not famous. Now we are adopting silo storage. Traditionally, what we used to do is, we used to build large physical warehouses, right? I hope you understand physical warehouse. You must have seen in movies. But basically, it will be a large building like this, right? It will be a large building like this, right? So in case of India, traditional warehouses, although they are large, traditional warehouse concept is very famous. Silo warehouse concept is actually picking up now. Then what is the basic idea? Why silos are being preferred? Why silos are very famous in Western market? Why are we shifting towards the silos now? Understand this. Silos, whenever you develop these in terms of utilization of technology, these are very superior. Utilization of technology, these are very superior. The sizes of the silos is also very, very large, which means you can store more food grains. If your sizes are very large, which means you can store more food grains. And if the size is very large, storage is more, so cost of operations, cost of storage will also be much lower. And between a traditional warehouse and a silo, it is generally said that the silos can withstand natural calamities better than the traditional warehouses. For example, let's say floods. Silos can withstand floods much better than traditional warehouses. If there's an earthquake, if there is heavy rainfall, right, etc., silos have better, right, storage capacity, and right, basically in terms of security, these are much better compared to traditional warehouses. So these are very cost effective, help in bulk storage and efficient logistics. A silo of 50,000 tons capacity is likely to cost 84 rupee per ton compared to traditional warehousing, where the cost per ton will be more than 300. It will be more than 300 rupees. The operational costs are also very low because of large scale and usage of technology in deposit of food grains or withdrawal of the food grains. The requirement of labor is also very low because mechanization equipments are used here. They are also, right, better in protecting from vagaries of the nature, spillage as well as rodent attacks. That is a precise reason now government of India is actually promoting more and more storage through silo capacities. Right, and have a look at this. Government is promoting development of silos under PPP. What is PPP? Public Private Partnership. PPP basically stands for Public Private Partnership. We have not discussed this. Tomorrow we will discuss Public Private Partnership. Please don't worry. Tomorrow we'll discuss this. What is PPP? What are the advantages? What are the concerns? Right? We'll discuss PPP tomorrow. Done? So this is one more kind of a technology that is available in the agriculture sector. Next one, agriculture drones. Very, very famous now. In fact, Government of India is promoting utilization of agriculture drones. Now, what is this idea of agriculture drone? Drone is basically an equipment, right? A small equipment, a technological equipment that will be used for, right, either transportation, right, or let's say civil aviation market, or let's say security purposes, etc. But Government of India says there is a need to promote usage of agriculture drone in the agriculture sector. There is a need to promote usage of drones. Why? Point number one, agriculture drones are very cost effective as well as efficient. How? Have a look at the data given by the government. If you want to apply a pesticide, if you want to apply pesticide in your farm, the drone can apply a pesticide on 2.5 acre of land in a 15 minutes time period itself. I hope you understand, right? One drone can apply pesticides in 2.5 acre. 2.5 acre means 1 hectare. Very simple. For application of pesticides in 1 hectare, the drone will take only 15 minutes. So can you imagine the time that would be required for people, that is human labor, to apply same amount of pesticide? So it is very cost effective as well as time effective, time efficient as well as cost efficient. Second, if I basically start adopting more and more technology, my reliance on the human labor will automatically come down. I'll repeat the statement. Technology, not just a drone, technology, any technology for that matter. Don't you think my reliance on the human labor will start coming down? Answer is yes. And trust me, right? Some of you simply say, sir, they are going to create unemployment. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You'll understand in a minute. Point number two, would you like more and more labor, human labor, to be present in India's agriculture sector? Let me see. How many of you, right, are okay with more and more human labor being present in India's agriculture sector? No, my dear, you should say no. Even in any of the format, sir, you're writing in mains, should I say no? Yes. Sir, I'm in interview, should I say no? Yes. Why? Already more than required human labor is present in agriculture sector in India. And agriculture sector is not a sector where guaranteed returns are there. right? So dependence on human labor should not be high, should be lower. Now some of you will ask, in that case, sir, why is the human labor in India in agriculture sector higher? Is there any particular reason for it? There is a reason. If you want to work as a software engineer, do you need to have any kind of qualification? Let me know. You want to work as a software engineer, do you need to have any qualification? Of course, yes. Of course, yes. Right? Anybody in the classroom who says no, sir, right? I don't require any qualification. I'll go to any company, let's say Infosys, I will join there. Absolutely no. You require a qualification. But on the other side, to work as right, an agriculture labor. Tell me now, to work as agriculture labor, do you require any qualification? No, you don't require any qualification, right? So educational requirements are not there, right? That is a precise reason. Educational requirements, skilling levels are very low. There is no other option available to them. As a result of all of them, as a result of multiple factors, a lot of population in India which is working is getting concentrated in the agriculture sector. That doesn't mean that we should increase it. No, we should actually reduce it. We should actually reduce it. How we will do that, etc., we will understand it when I take up employment. So less reliance on human labor can be used to assess yield, assess crop of the plant, stress in the field, etc. For example, imagine you have 10 acres of land. Imagine you have 10 acres of land. Please tell me, can you use the drones to find out what is happening to plants in every part of the cultivation area? Yes or no? Can you use the drone to assess? Assess means find out what is happening to the crops, what is happening to the plants in the whole of the land. Of course, yes. If there is a pest attack, can you find out in which region pest attack is happening? Can you find out whether irrigation is reaching to all the parts of the land? Of course, yes. So usage of agriculture drones can be done for multiple purposes like this. Now coming to the point, most of you are basically saying, but sir, I read in the newspaper drones are costly. I hope you understand. And you're right. You're right. Drones are costly. But please understand, government of India is not asking the farmer to purchase the drones here. I hope you understand. Many of you are saying, but sir, drones are costly, right? Don't you think it is not affordable for the farmers? Government of India is not telling the farmer to purchase a drone here, right? For example, let's say there is an agriculture university. Government will provide certain subsidy to the agriculture university so that they will purchase the drones and provide the facilities to the farmer to utilize the drones. Let's say there are various service providers in rural India who will purchase the drones. Government will provide subsidy for them. They will use the drone to provide these facilities to the farmers at affordable prices. So I hope you understand, government is not asking the farmers to purchase drones. Government is basically saying that there are different service providers in the market. I will provide subsidies to them so that they will purchase the drones and provide these facilities, services to the farmers at affordable prices. In fact, there's a scheme, submission on agriculture mechanization. Submission on agriculture mechanization, SMAM, submission on agriculture mechanization. So under SMAM, that is submission on agriculture mechanization, government of India says, don't worry, I will provide subsidies. The service providers will take the subsidies, purchase the drones, and then start providing services to the farmers at cheaper cost. Done? Right? So this is one more type of technology that can be promoted in the agriculture sector. Any difficulty so far? Let me know. Anybody is facing any kind of a difficulty with what I'm discussing in agriculture sector? Sir, agriculture university is manufacturing it? No. There are different manufacturers. In fact, if you're reading newspapers, please tell me, in recent times, have you come across PLI in drone sector? Let me see. Have you come across PLI scheme, production linked incentive in the drones manufacturing? Yes, Government of India is doing it. Government of India is actually promoting it now. Okay. So next concept. Any other question? Anybody has any other question? Please do let me know. Is APMC available in all the states? No, APMCs are not available in all the states. Many states do not have APMC. For example, Kerala and Bihar. Okay, any other question? These are mains based chapters? No. If you ask me, sir, is agriculture mains based chapter? Absolutely no. Right, we'll discuss the questions, don't worry. Questions have been asked in prelims as well as mains from agriculture. So, but university is less na. In my district, there is no university. My dear, it is one of the ways. It is one of the ways. I did not say only university. Right? Please understand. For example, there is a model in agriculture sector called as custom hiring centers. Right? There is a model of business called as custom hiring center, CHC, custom hiring center. What is the business model of custom hiring center? These will purchase equipments which can be used for agriculture sector, and they will lease out these equipments to farmers at cheaper prices. I'll repeat the statement here. Right? This is a very famous business model in agriculture sector. In large number of villages, it is actually covered. Right? There is this concept of custom hiring center. What is a custom hiring center? They will purchase all these equipments which are required for agriculture sector, and they will start leasing out, right, these equipments at affordable prices to the farmers. That is basically the concept of custom hiring centers. So Government of India says even CHCs, if they want to purchase drones, I will provide subsidies. So agriculture universities, CHCs, right, large number of service providers are covered under this. Okay. Can we go forward now? Concept of food processing. Concept of food processing. Okay. Now, first and foremost, what do you mean by food processing? I've already given the definition to you. What do you mean by food processing? It is the process of transforming food items into another form. Very simple. Food processing means you are converting from one form to another form. Right? So that is called as food processing. And I've given you examples as well. Don't ask me, give me example of food processing now. We have discussed examples. Mango into juice, mango into pickle, right? Let's say fruits into jam, wheat to bread. All of this is basically food processing. Now, what is the need for food processing? Why should we promote food processing? One, in case of India, over a period of time, household expenditures have increased because the per capita incomes also have increased. Okay, so income levels have increased, household expenditures also have increased. And please tell me, compared to a decade ago, compared to 20 years ago, don't you think the preference for processed foods in India is higher today? Let me know. Right? If you don't trust me, look at your own house. Please look at your own house, you will realize it. Compared to 5 years ago or 10 years ago, don't you think preference for processed foods is very high in India? Of course, yes. Right, sir? No, sir. In my home, no processed foods. My dear, if you have eaten Parle G biscuit, it is a processed food. You have eaten Amul chocolate or Amul butter, it's a processed food. Or the best one, if you have eaten Maggie, it's a processed food. And is there anybody in the classroom who says, sir, so far it's been more than 20 years since my birth, I've never eaten Maggie? Let me know. Anybody in the classroom who says, right, sir, I've never eaten Maggie, right? I've never purchased a packet of biscuit. I've never purchased a chocolate in the market. I've never purchased anything that can be, right, in a packet that can be opened and eaten. Anybody in the classroom who says, never ever, sir? There will be, right? That is the prevalence today. So in case of India, the incomes of the households have increased, so has been the preference for processed foods. Second, the youth population in India is also very high. Youth population, that is generally which falls before the age group of 35 years. Youth population in India is also very, very high. So if the youth population is very high, automatically it also indicates that preference for processed foods is also very high. Third point, right? India produces a large quantity for agriculture output, right? For example, I'm pretty sure you must have read in the newspaper, India is the largest producer of milk in the global market. Correct? Have you read this? India is the largest top producer of milk. Now, don't you think milk as a product or as an input can be processed into multiple forms of output? Right? Can we use milk under the food processing? Of course, yes. You will get packaged milk. That's a processed food. Packet milk is a processed food, right? You will convert a milk into butter. You'll convert milk into cheese. You will use a milk in preparing many of the sweet delicacies, right? That is in restaurants, in sweet shops, etc. So lot of processing is being done in case of India, because we are producing lot of these agriculture commodities as well as horticulture commodities for domestic production as well as exporting purposes also. And apart from this, if you think of it, can I say, if you process more and more food, right, we can control to a certain extent. We can control the volatility in the prices for food products in the market. That is vegetables, right? Food inflation. I'm talking about food inflation essentially. Sir, how? Right? Two of you are asking how. My dear, I think I've told you this earlier also. Can we ensure onion, whenever it is produced in excess, can we ensure onion will be converted into dry onion? There is a product in the market by the name of dry onion itself. Onion can also be converted into onion powder. Of course, yes. Onion can be converted into onion powder also. So I hope you understand. We can talk about onion, or the best example, tomato. Yes or no? Tomato. In the last 1 month, right? I think I've told you this. Very interesting thing is happening in India. The demand for tomato ketchup is actually rising. Right? I hope you have read. Demand for tomato puree, tomato ketchup is actually increasing in India. Reason is simple, right? A tomato, when you purchase a tomato puree, for a kg of tomato puree, I guess it is around 90 rupees to 100 rupees. Whereas, right, 1 kg of a fresh tomato you purchase from the market, right? Earlier they used to say, looking at onion, right, the water will start flowing from your eyes, right? But now tomatoes are giving nightmares to people. Tomatoes giving nightmares to people, and it is expected that in the next couple of weeks it will go up to 300 rupees per kg. Up to 300 rupees per kg. So you can imagine to what extent right, these kind of products demand will be very, very high. So can I say, if you basically process more and more, volatilities in the market can be addressed. And can I also say, if you process more and more, wastages can be reduced. Correct or not? If you process more and more, wastages can be reduced. Sir, how? Tomato, you can maximum consume the tomato in a span of, let's say, 7 days or 10 days. But if you convert the tomato into puree, you can store the puree for, right, let's say 1 month. You can store the puree for, right, let's say 35 days, 40 days, etc. So processing, once you process it, you will be extending shelf life of the product. Correct? By processing this, you'll be extending the shelf life of the product. And when you extend the shelf life, automatically you can consume it for a longer duration. Right? So wastages will come down, right? The promotion of exports will also happen. Volatilities in the market to a certain extent can be addressed. Let me prove it to you. Have you heard of milk powder? Let me know. Have you heard of milk powder? Right? Many companies, for example, Amul itself produces milk powder. Right? What is the idea for milk powder? Please understand, in certain time period, in a year, in certain time period, the water availability, right? Water availability will be very high. The grass quality will be much better. So the cattle which will consume this, they will produce more milk, right? That is basically a flush season. Flush, they will say, FLUSH, flush season. During the flush season, the milk productivity, milk production in India would be higher than what is actually required. And right, please understand this. You cannot simply keep milk for a longer duration. That shelf life is very short. So what we do is generally convert this milk into milk powder. Right, we convert that into milk powder. Right, and when there is a lean season means, for example, during summer, right, the production of milk would be affected. We use the milk powder to satisfy the demand in the market. So I hope you understand all these are the reasons why we need to promote food processing in the domestic market. Now, what has the government of India done? Right, we have understood, yes, there is a need to promote. What has the government of India done then? Has it promoted the food processing sector in India? Of course, yes. Lot of reforms have been implemented. Let's go one by one. First one is, there is a big, right, a very large scheme, umbrella scheme by the name of Pradhan Mantri Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. Kisan Sampada Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, PMKSY. Right, I got confused because there is one more scheme by the name of PMKSY. Anybody who can tell me what is another scheme in the name of PMKSY? PMKSY. Anybody who reads newspaper, let me see. Anybody knows that there is one more scheme, right? That is generally representing PMKSY. There is one more scheme. Nobody is answering. I will answer it. Pradhana Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Pradhana Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, PMKSY, very very famous, right? Under which government is promoting micro irrigation. So that's the reason I just got confused, right? Because I remember PMKSY. I was about to say Pradhana Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Then I corrected myself and said, okay, Pradhana Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. So under Pradhana Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, multiple schemes are there, but two very important schemes are, one, to promote cold chain infrastructure in India. I'll come to that. To promote cold chain infrastructure, and the second one is to promote mega food parks. It is to promote mega food parks. MFP is mega food parks. Now, what is this idea of a mega food park? Then we'll look at cold chain scheme. Mega food park, please understand, this is a basic model. Okay. Here is a mega food park, and in this mega food park, multiple companies will be present. Multiple companies. Let's say one company will have a facility to convert, right, a wheat into bread or wheat into biscuit. Another company will have facilities to source fruits, convert into juice. Another company will be there to source potatoes, convert that into lays or chips for that matter. So multiple companies, food processing units are present in the mega food park itself. Now, how the scheme will work out? The farmers, that is the producers, from the farmers, the collection centers will take all these crops as per the requirement. They will purchase from them. Then this will be passed on to primary processing center. Primary processing center will basically sort it, grade it, warehouse it, and now based on the requirement of the companies, they will supply it to the mega food park companies. Now, once the inputs are available, these companies will use the input and, right, produce whatever they want to produce. For example, chips can be produced, right? Jam can be produced, juices can be produced, breads can be produced. So multiple companies will have a food processing units here, and this will be either now sold in the domestic market or will be exported to international market. Right, this will be either sold in the domestic market or sold in the international market. Any difficulty in understanding the model? Let me know. Any difficulty in understanding the model? So the idea of a mega food park initiative was launched by the government back in 2008. That was basically when Mr. Manmohan Singh was the prime minister. So under this, we are going to promote infrastructure for food sorting, food grading, right, packaging, processing, etc. right, etc. That is basically the function of mega food park. Under this mega food park scheme, government will provide certain aid, that is a subsidy incentive is provided by the government. How much? 50%. 50% of the cost of the project. 50% of the cost of the project. Maximum is 50 crore rupees. Each of these mega food parks will have around 30 to 35 units by the food processing companies, and collective investment within these mega food parks is expected to be, right, each of the mega food park will be 250 crore rupees. And annually, right, annually we are expecting a turnover of around 500 crore rupees from these park units, and we are expecting to create 30,000 jobs using this model of a mega food park. Right, it will function on a hub and spoke model. This is called as a hub and spoke model. Do not worry about the term. Hub and spoke model is basically how distribution supply chain will work. I will repeat the statement. If you keep on asking me, I know certain people will keep on asking me about it. Hub and spoke model simply means how, right, a distribution supply chain will work out. For example, please think of it. Please think of it. Don't you think this model that I've written in this slide, it is similar to newspaper printing and distribution? Let me see. Please think of it. Whatever model I've written here, is it similar to newspapers printing and distribution? That is, for example, if you look at it, early morning, if you have gone to walk, certain people, right? I hope you understand. Don't write all of this in the exam, but understand the model. Certain people in your locality, they'll be collecting newspapers. They will collect Hindu newspaper. They will collect, right, let's say Indian Express. They will collect, right, let's say Times of India. They'll collect a Dainik Bhaskar. But the publishing house for all of them are different. Publishing house for all of them is different. Now from here, right, imagine there'll be four, right, people who will take, right, let's say 20, 40, 60 and 80 newspaper, all of them put together. This person will go to one locality, distribute newspapers, right, based on the house. One house would have ordered Hindu, another house would have ordered Times of India, another house would have ordered Economic Times. They will distribute based on the requirement. Same thing will be done by the second person in another locality. Same thing by the third person, another locality. Same thing by the fourth person, another locality. Can I call this as supply chain distribution system? Let me know. Can I call this as supply chain distribution system? Of course, yes. Right. So same logic is applicable even in case of mega food park. Different farmers will cultivate. All of these will be used as inputs. Now these, right, whatever is the output, either will be sold in the domestic market or will be exported. So that is also a supply chain system only. So this kind of a model, this is called as a hub and spoke model. Hub and spoke. Sir, why specifically hub and spoke? Is it name of a person? No. All of you seen a cycle tire? Let me know, because that is basically on that only. All of you have seen a bicycle tire or a cycle tire? Sir, what do you mean by cycle tire or a bicycle tire? Can I say in the center there is a solid hub? If this is the bicycle tire, in the center there is a solid hub and there are multiple spokes connecting and maintaining the integrity of the tire. Correct? Let me know. Have you made observations or not? Right? How is the bicycle tire? How can I explain what is a bicycle tire or a cycle tire? In the center there is a solid hub, and the integrity of the whole bicycle tire is maintained by multiple, right, spokes which will connect, right, these two circles. Right, this is called as a hub and spoke model. That's the reason it is called as hub and spoke model. Okay, right. So mega food parks will also function on a model of hub and spoke model. Credit can be provided, right, to these companies which will open up units, credit can be provided under PSL, priority sector lending. And foreign investment, right? Tomorrow we'll discuss what is FDI in detail. Please do not worry. Foreign investment is allowed in the mega food parks. Foreign investment is allowed in the mega food parks. So done. Anybody has a problem with the model of mega food park? Second one is a cold chain scheme. That is also part of right, the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana only. First and foremost, what do you mean by cold chain? What do you mean by cold chain? Cold chain simply refers to set of activities, supply chain involving cold temperatures. Simple. I'll give you examples. You would have observed it without realizing it is cold chain only. I'll give you example, don't worry. So cold chain means set of activities or supply chain involving cold temperature. Sir, what do you mean by this? Let me ask you a very simple question. Imagine you go to a shop, you want to purchase paneer. You want to purchase paneer. One example. Some of you will simply say, sir, no, I don't want to purchase paneer. I want to purchase ice cream. Some of you will say, no, sir, today is Saturday, my cheat day. Right? So I want to purchase a meat. So please tell me either paneer or ice cream or meat. Is it available in the open shelf or these are available in freezer section? Let me know. These are available in the open shelf. Open shelf means beside Parle-G biscuit. Right? Some of you have not even been to a shop also. That becomes a problem. Some of you have not gone to shop also. Right? There is one student who says, sir, these products are available in open shelf. My dear, beside Parle-G biscuit, have you ever seen a meat packet kept? Or let's say, sir, meat, right? Don't say I'm pure vegetarian. Have you seen paneer kept beside Parle-G biscuit? Beside a packet of chips? Have you ever seen it? Beside Cadbury chocolate, they will keep paneer. No, my dear. Everything that is a paneer, ice cream, right, or meat products, etc., all of them will be kept in freezers. If not, today after the class is over, go check and let me know. Please do check and let me know. Why? If you keep any of these products in the open, guaranteed within short time period, their quality will be lost. They'll be spoiled. They'll start smelling. If you keep meat in the open, it will start smelling. If you keep ice cream, it will not remain ice cream, it will become juice. So I hope you understand. There are certain products which for transportation, for storage, for the purpose of sales, for the purpose of producing, you will require cold temperature. Is the logic okay now? You will require cold temperature for transportation, for storage, for warehousing, for production. Can I say all of this infrastructure is basically cold chain infrastructure? All of you okay now? All of this infrastructure, can I say it is a cold chain infrastructure, right? So even for the promotion of cold chain infrastructure, government has taken various reforms or measures. For example, government will provide a financial aid, that is grant, not a loan, grant. Government will provide a grant for developing integrated cold chain and preservation infrastructure. How much? Up to maximum 10 crore rupees. Maximum 10 crore rupees government will provide aid. And apart from the government also, there are various agencies of government of India. There are various agencies of government of India such as APEDA. Very, very famous. APEDA is very famous. It promotes exports of agriculture commodities. Agriculture and Processed Food Products Export Development Authority. NHB, National Horticulture Board, and NCCD, National Center for Cold Chain Development. So all these authorities which are owned by the government of India, they will also provide assistance and promote development of cold chain infrastructure project. Cold chain also has been provided infrastructure status. What is the importance of infrastructure status? You will understand tomorrow. Don't worry. So these are some of the very important reforms to promote cold chain infrastructure projects in India. Apart from this, 100% FDI in marketing of domestically produced goods is allowed. What do you mean by FDI? Again, In detail about FDI, you will learn tomorrow. Please don't worry about it. As of now, is it okay? If a foreign company will come into India and invest and develop infrastructure, can I call it as FDI? Please do let me know. Right? We have discussed this term multiple times now. Again, I'm repeating it. Can I say a foreign company will come into India, invest, and let's say develop infrastructure? Right? For example, they will start a service sector company. They will start a joint venture company with Tata. They will set up their own manufacturing facility. All of that is called as FDI. So in case of India, now we are allowing foreign investment to market. Market means basically sell agriculture produced goods. Some of you might be thinking, what is this? What is the advantage? What is the benefit here? My dear, please think of it. If foreign companies will come into India, they want to sell agriculture products in India. Will they not invest? Point number one, will they not invest and develop warehousing infrastructure? Think of it. Will they not invest and develop warehousing infrastructure? What about transportation facilities, logistics infrastructure? What about packaging infrastructure, sorting and grading infrastructure? So can I say in a simple statement, using this policy, we want to develop Swadeshi infrastructure with Videshi money. Very nice punchline used by the government of India. Using this policy, can I say, will be able to develop Swadeshi infrastructure with Videshi money. That is what the government of India is trying to do here. Very simple. That's what they're trying to do. There are a lot of these companies. For example, Walmart is there, right? Or for that matter, Amazon or Alibaba for that matter. These people or these companies have a lot of money to invest. Now, if I allow these companies to invest in marketing of these agriculture products, they will bring lot of money, invest, create infrastructure, and create employment opportunities in India. Right? That is the objective of 100% FDI in marketing of domestically produced goods. Done? Next, PMFME. Some of you are asking for a break. Let me finish this concept. We'll take a break after that. That is, let me finish food processing. Couple of more. I believe one or two more, right, are there. Reforms. We'll discuss that. Then we can take a break. Okay. Now let's start. Let's start. PM formalization of micro food processing enterprises. In short, PMFME. Now, many of you will ask me, sir, what do you mean by micro enterprises? Now, please understand this. I'll show you a definition. I'll come back to this. Please don't worry. I will show you a definition. Please do let me know whether this definition makes sense to you whenever you talk about micro, small, and medium enterprises. Now, please have a look at the definition here. Please focus. Have a look at the definition. We have a classification of units in India, which is very famously referred to as MSME. Micro, small, medium enterprises. Now, how do you define MSME? How do you define MSME? This is a basic idea. There are two parameters. There are two parameters based on which we will classify these units into micro, small, or medium enterprises. What are the two parameters? One, how much is the investment? How much is the investment done by these units? And the second one is turnover. What do you mean by turnover? Total revenue. How much revenue you have been able to generate. So in case of a micro enterprise, if your investment is less than 1 crore, if your investment is less than 1 crore and your revenue is less than 5 crore, you are classified as a micro enterprise. And right, if your investment is more than 1 crore up to 10 crore, but your turnover is less than 50 crore, more than 5, less than 50, then you are classified as a small. In case of medium enterprises, your investment is more than 10 crore and up to 50 crore, and your turnover is more than 50 crore but less than 250 crore, then you're basically classified as medium enterprises. My argument is, please by heart this table. Right? If you ask me, sir, why should I by heart this table? You might need this to write an answer in the mains. This is a new definition. Until couple of years ago, these two parameters were not used. Only one parameter was used, that was investment. Now from the last couple of years, apart from the investment, we are also using turnover parameter. And more importantly, this year prelims, the question was asked on this table. You can check it. In this year prelims, there was a statement asked from this table, very table itself. But anyways, I don't expect UPC to repeat it next year or a year after that. But at least you will require this data to write answers in the mains. So my recommendation, please by heart this table. So classification is very, very simple. Very simple. How much money you invest in purchasing machines, in setting up a manufacturing facility, that is plant and machinery. How much you invest in that, plus how much is your turnover. Based on that, we have a classification of micro, small and medium enterprises. Anybody has an issue with the definition? Anybody has an issue with the definition, please do let me know. Right, so in case of right now, think of it. Right, you'll have to think and answer now. If you talk about micro enterprises, question number one, if you talk about micro enterprises, do you think these micro enterprises are very competitive? Let me know. Right, point number one, if you talk about micro enterprises, and remember this, Arey Baba, some of you are not thinking. Remember this, more than 99% of all the units in India are micro enterprises only. If you look at how many micro are there, how many small, how many medium, out of that, more than 99% are micro enterprises itself. So point number one, micro enterprises, do you think these are very competitive? Answer is no. Why? If you ask me, sir, how can you say? Answer is no. How can you say these are not competitive? My dear, please tell me, based on their investment, can they compete with a company such as a Tata company? Can they compete with, right, let's say Adani company? If you ask me, sir, why are you comparing with Tata and Adani? Right? How many of you have used the cooking oil by Adani company? Let me know. Please do let me know. How many of you know that Adani company is present in food processing sector? Right? There's a company, Wilmar company. Wilmar company sells Fortune cooking oil in India. Fortune, produced by Adani only. Right? And have you not seen a Tata company in food processing industry? Have you not seen food products sold by Tata company? Of course, yes. Right? So my argument is very simple here. Micro enterprises, their investment is less than 1 crore rupee. So question number one, do you think they are very competitive? No. Point number two, do you think they are producing large quantity of output? No. Point number three, do you think they are using very good technology? Right? Let's say latest technology or updated technology? Again, answer is no. Right? Do you think they are producing a lot of employment opportunities compared to larger companies? Right? Answer is no. So argument is very simple. These are very small. Most of them are unregistered, informal. Unregistered means informal, and they are not competitive. They are not able to use, right, let's say good technology or let's say latest technology for improving their productivity. So there is a concern regarding, right, these micro enterprises. That's the reason Government of India says there are more than 25 lakh micro enterprises within food processing sector. I hope you understand. Within food processing only, there are more than 25 lakh micro enterprises. So that is a precise reason Government of India says, I want to promote formalization. Formalization means they should be registered. They should get access to better access to credit. They should be provided with assistance in adoption of technology. They should become formal units. That's the reason. Please look at the name of the scheme. At least now tell me, does the name of the scheme make sense to you? PM formalization of micro food processing enterprises. Now under this, what is the whole idea? More than 60% are located in rural areas, and more than 80% are family based. Family based means I am there, my wife is there, or my, let's say, my kids are working. That's it. These are the only people who are producing it. Have you not seen these kind of micro enterprises, especially in rural India? Let me know. Have you not seen these kind of micro enterprises where Family members, 2 people in a family, only they are the workers in the micro, right? Sir, any example, right? For example, sari making. For example, let's say the agarbatti sticks, aroma sticks, right? Or let's say tobacco manufacturing. That is the basic chutas, BDs. So I hope you understand. Lot of these, right, are micro enterprises which are mainly family based, right? So you need to ensure that these will become, right, operational with more efficiency, more labor creation, more productivity. Under this scheme, Government of India set aside 10,000 crore rupees, and this will be implemented from a duration of 2020 to 2025. And under this, we want to provide the benefit. We want to formalize more than 2 lakh micro enterprises. We want to formalize them. How? Have a look at this. Government of India says, I will provide a training as well as a financial support for you to adopt better technology. I will provide you, right, the training as well as financial support for technology upgradation. For example, imagine there is, right, there is a certain equipment, machinery. You want to purchase machinery, government will provide subsidy for that. Can I call this as capital subsidy? Think of it, I'll repeat it again. Right? Imagine there is a machinery you want to purchase and government will provide subsidy for you to purchase machinery. Can I call this as a capital linked subsidy? So under the PMFME, government will provide training for the people. Government will also provide capital linked subsidies as well. Compliance and registration under different regulatory laws of Government of India. If these micro enterprises will be registered now, can I say it will lead to formalization? From informal, will they not become formal now? That is, these are registered with the government. So that's a reason, formalization. They will also provide marketing support, right, for their supply chain in the market. That is basically, for example, government agencies, right, they will showcase these products which are manufactured by micro enterprises. Even in case of exports, at the international level, we have set a portal, right, to promote the production and the sales of these entities as well. Okay, so this is basically one more initiative of Government of India, PMFME. Right, next one, nothing much to discuss here. PLI. Please tell me, in the last week did we discuss PLI? That's a reason. Please do let me know. In the last week, did we discuss PLI, Production Linked Incentive Scheme? If you ask me, sir, where did you discuss? Don't lie. My dear, I will tell you, right? We have discussed PLI under the concept of international trade. So under PLI, 14 sectors are covered. One of the sector is food processing sector. And under PLI, we have allocated 10,900 crore rupee for food processing sector itself. In fact, I don't know how many of you have read today's newspaper, but please tell me, in multiple newspapers today, was there an article regarding PLI? Let me see. I don't know how many of you have read today's newspaper. I absolutely have no clue. I believe, or at least I hope you have read multiple newspapers, right? Have you come across today's article? Today's, right, in newspapers, the article on PLI. Anybody? Please do let me know. Anybody? Sir, what was the reason, right? Anybody who can tell me why there was an article, right, in multiple newspaper, right? Many of you are asking, sir, which newspaper? Financial Express. In Financial Express, it was there. In Mint, it was there. In Indian Express, it was there. In Economic Times, it was there. Sir, was it there in Hindu? I don't think so. I don't think so. It was there in Hindu. No, I don't think so. In Hindu, it was not there. The article was basically talking about, understand this carefully. I'll tell you, I'll connect it to current affairs. Article was basically discussing a fact that in recent times, there have been multiple concerns raised about effectiveness of PLI in India. I'll tell you, I'll connect it to current affairs. Right? Connection is very simple. Couple of days ago, there was one reform, one basic policy of Government of India, where Government of India said, if you want to import a laptop, you will have to take a license henceforth. If you want to import a PC, you will have to take a license henceforth. Was the policy implemented? Later, Government of India postponed the implementation to 1st of November. Understand the sequence, to the 1st of November. Now, one of the concern that people raised, experts raised, was the government is doing this because PLI has not been successful. I hope you understand. I hope you are connecting the dots. Many of the experts said that the government might be doing this because their PLI has not been very successful. Otherwise, if the PLI was successful, which means production in India was increasing in laptops, etc., why would government require to impose a licensing restriction on the import of all of this? There would not be any requirement. That is the reason today's newspaper, please check that article, very nice article by the way. The government of India has clarified that in case of PLI, point number one, yes, no doubt, so far we have only disbursed around 2,900 crore rupee in the form of incentives. I repeat, Government of India says we have disbursed only around 2,900 crore rupees under PLI in the form of incentives. That doesn't mean that PLI is a failure. That doesn't mean PLI is failure. Why? The argument is if you invest, immediately you will not get incentives. All of you okay with this? And I hope you remember how incentives are calculated under PLI. Right? It is based on investment, it is based on incremental sales, etc. So argument of Government of India is no doubt, so far only around 2,900 crore rupees given. But this year Government of India says this will increase to around 13,000 crore rupees. The incentives will increase to around 13,000 crore rupee in the current fiscal, which means compared to last year, now the amount of sales done under PLI would be increasing. That is the argument of Government of India, right? So very nice article, please read that. Okay, next, Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. Last couple of concepts, then we'll stop the discussion, we'll take a break. Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. Now, what is the use of Agriculture Infrastructure Fund? Under this, Government of India has allocated 1 lakh crore rupee. Point number one, 1 lakh crore rupee. Now, what is the use of 1 lakh crore rupee? Government says this scheme will be implemented till 2032 and 2033, and various infrastructure projects, I repeat, various post-harvest infrastructure projects in the agriculture sector will be incentivized, will provide subsidy under Agriculture Infrastructure Fund so that construction of this infrastructure will be promoted. For example, warehousing infrastructure, sorting infrastructure, grading infrastructure, packaging infrastructure, cold chain infrastructure, etc. So we are going to target post-harvest. All of you are able to understand what do you mean by post-harvest? Once you have harvested means cut. Once you have harvested the crop, after that, you will target the development of infrastructure. So under Agriculture Infrastructure Fund, 1 lakh crore rupee has been set up, or fund worth 1 lakh crore rupee has been set up, and we are going to use these funds to provide subsidies for the development of these kinds of post-harvest infrastructure or post-harvest agriculture infrastructure projects. Right? That is basically the concept of Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. Any doubts here? Any doubts? Please do let me know. Sir, you are not answering my question. My dear, what is the question? You ask me the question. When I ask you any doubt, you will not ask any question. When I'm discussing, you will keep on typing the question without listening to what I'm discussing. Right? So listen, first listen. And when I ask any doubt, now tell me what is your doubt. Huh? Sir, 80% or than 80%? More than, Are Baba, spelling mistake is there. Right? In alignment, T has been left here only. More than 80%. Okay, more than 80%. In absence of APMC, how do Bihar and Kerala procure food crops? Right? Different states have their own procurement methods. For example, Kerala government. Right? In case of Kerala government, whenever there's a requirement, only then Kerala government actually interferes in the market. Okay, so different states have their own procurement methodologies. Minimum cost to establish a mega food park. Minimum cost, right? Again, minimum cost we are expecting is at least 250 crore rupee. Right, so different again within mega food parks also minimum investment requirements are different for different units. Okay. Anybody has any kind of other question? Why was APMC withdrawn from Bihar? Right, basically the Bihar government stated the farmers are not able to get the benefit. Farmers are not able to get the benefit of this APMC model. That's the reason they withdrew this particular model of the APMC. Okay. Because please understand, I am not entering into how actually the detailed level of the model of APMC. For example, generally, whenever you take a crop to APMC, there are certain agents who are appointed by the APMC Mandi itself. Is it okay? I'll repeat the statement. Whenever you take the crop to APMC, there are certain agents, commission agents who are appointed by the APMC Mandi. It has been seen multiple times that the commission agents will favor buyers compared to sellers. That is basically these are right basically in touch with, let's say, large companies, large buyers like this. They will try to ensure that farmers will sell it at a lower price to right the companies. So there are a lot of concerns regarding the functioning of the APMC mandi. Sir, you say like we have to buy out the table. So can you share the questions which are questioned in the prelims? My dear, some work you will also have to do, right? If everything I do, what is your work? If everything I only do it, I'm supposed to read newspapers, I'm supposed to prepare questions, I'm supposed to answer questions, I'm supposed to prepare mind maps, I'm supposed to prepare notes, then please tell me what is your duty? What is your duty? Don't you think some work you will have to put from your side? Again, you can criticize me for it. You can criticize me. You can simply say, no, you will have to prepare all the current affairs, right? Notes. Yes, I will prepare. How will you understand what to read? If I do everything, then how will you understand how many articles to read, which article to read, which concept to cover, which not to cover? So that's the reason, right? Start putting in efforts. Because once you become IS officer, a lot of duties will be there. You cannot simply say this is out of syllabus. Done? Okay. So can we go forward now? Now, PM formalization of micro food processing enterprises. Last concept. After this, we'll take a break. What are the challenges for food processing industries? What are the challenges? FPS stands for food processing industry. What are the challenges? Point number one, most of the demand for processed foods comes from urban India. Anybody has a problem with this? Does it make sense or not? Let me know. Most of the demand for processed foods will come from urban India, and it makes perfect sense. Per capita incomes are very high, right? The lifestyle is right more towards a consumption of processed foods. Second one, infrastructure problems. Bottlenecks means constraints, shortages. For example, do we have sufficient warehousing infrastructure in India? Now this should be very clear to you. Do we have sufficient warehousing infrastructure? Do we have sufficient sorting and grading infrastructure? These are infrastructure constraints. Cost of transportation is also very high, and that will contribute to higher market prices, right? So we want more people to consume processed foods, but the cost of transportation will increase the market price. So we need to reduce the cost of transportation. The informal sector, unorganized sector presence in case of India is very, very high. We need to formalize these units. We need to promote formalization of these units. Okay. Product development and innovation, the amount of investment that we are doing to create new types of products, the kind of technology we are using, the money we are spending on purchasing these kind of technology, we need to increase that. Because if you compare the food processing in India compared to, let's say, developed countries such as USA, in USA, right, food processing sector is very, very, very much mature, very well developed. In India, very, very, right, very less developed now. We are in the process of improving maturity in the food processing industry. But for you to do that, for you to achieve that, you'll have to invest a lot, create right new type of food processing products, purchase a lot of machinery, lot of research and development has to be done. So that has to be done here. And finally, right, large number of middlemen, large number of micro and smaller units, that will also ensure competition is not very high, production is not very high, productivity is also very low. Done. So these are some of the challenges that the food processing industry is actually facing in India, right? So you will have to provide way forward in the form of reforms now. Done. So this is a discussion for agriculture sector. Questions are there, we can take up the questions after the break. What is the meaning of demand concentration? Most of the demand for processed foods will come from urban part of India. Urban part of India. And that should make perfect sense to you. Why? Per capita income. Where do you think per capita income is higher in India? Cities or villages? Of course, it has to be there in the cities. So lifestyle is much more oriented towards consumption. So they will come from urban part of India. Done? Okay. So any other questions? Any other questions? Does ENAM platform help in removal of interference of agents in APMC? Yes, right. There are no agents in the ENAM. There are no agents, right? There's a platform, right? Directly you can list your product in the platform. Buyers will start bidding for the product, right? So there is no intermediaries there. The platform itself is directly going to facilitate it. What are silos? Silos are basically the projects, infrastructure projects, wherein warehousing capacity is much larger compared to traditional warehousing capacity. These will reduce the cost of warehousing for us. These can withstand, right, let's say natural calamities such as earthquake, floods, etc. much better. And dependence on the human labor will also be lesser because we are going to use technology machinery here. Okay. Sir, why agriculture drones is developed to farmers by government? Where did I say agriculture drones are developed to farmers by government? No, you are misunderstanding the whole concept. Government says there are entities which are developing drones. Now there are also entities which will provide the services of drones to the farmers. To these entities, I'll provide subsidy. That is the whole idea of a promotion of agriculture drones. Okay. Regarding planning commission, we'll discuss that tomorrow. Regarding planning commission, we'll discuss that tomorrow. Okay, so let's take a break now. Let's take a break. So we'll restart the discussion at 6:10. We'll restart the discussion at 6:10, right? So from 6:10, we can continue till up to 8 o'clock. That will be end of the discussion for you people today. There was one student who was asking, when will the economics lectures be complete? My dear, economics lectures will be complete next week. Tomorrow also we have full day economics. Next week Saturday again economics. So we'll be completing economics lectures next week Saturday. Okay, done then. So please rejoin at 6:10. We'll start the discussion at 6:10.